hello, soldiers. You are listening to the sound of victory because I am Liss Victory and you have tuned into that broadcast. We were just listening to Zartan by Strange Monsters, Limousine by Chet Vincent and the Big Bend, and Only Time by Lo-Fi Adelphi in that order. And they are all performers at the RANT Festival, which my guest today, Mary Jo Coll, punk rock mom or grandmom of the Pittsburgh music scene, is joining me today to discuss organizing it and RANT in general.
Or disorganizing,
so
whatever.
I like that. Let's see if we can get a better angle.
There you go.
There we go. And we are broadcasting from the Abbey in Lawrenceville, where I will host a stage on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
To us, it's
morning to us,
yeah,
but it's noon to everybody else.
Noon till 5 p.m., but then after 5 p.m., there's more stuff happening at the Abbey on Saturday, right?
Yeah, at night. There'll be, from 8 o'clock on, there'll be Ben Dumb and the East Side Band, who is ex-Marauders. Amazing rockabilly dude. And Photo Joe and the Negatives, who I can't describe them. It's Gabe Cetra and Addie Twig and a group of madmen that take old school rock and roll and turn it into punk music, and it's pretty cool.
Nice.
And then Devin Moses, we all know what Devin does.
Do we? I mean,
yeah,
the viewers.
He's country rock, I would call what Devin does. He's very talented. He's going to solo host down at New Amsterdam on the patio during the day, and then his full band will be up here. There'll be a hip-hop dude here. And then DJ Soulful Fella, a.k.a. Ian Friend, will take away the rest of the night doing what he does. He spins real vinyl and does soul and Motown and all of that good stuff. So
is that
party.
Here?
That's here at night.
In the Abbey.
In the Abbey, yeah.
So
in that room down there.
My friend Sam tuned in. He asked if Victory at the Crossroads is playing. Yes, we are, Friday night. But I want to just spell it out for you guys real quick. So this is the 6th annual Lawrenceville-wide. That's the entire neighborhood of Lawrenceville. Venues that don't even have music in them regularly necessarily are included. That's 25 plus venues, right?
Correct.
Over 200 bands, all free music, and that's this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I will be there all 3 days. I don't know if I'm playing all 3 days. I know for sure Friday and Saturday, and then I'm going to crash the acoustic brunch and see what happens. Because Jeremy K. Wood's going to be there, so of course. You know, even if I'm not coherent, I'm still going to go. I'll just go in zombie mode.
Yeah, get your Bloody Larry and
Bloody Larry?
Yeah, they make it's a specialty in Hambo.
Cute, I get it.
And it's a Bloody
Larry,
Mary
though.
with Guinness in it. And it's in Larryville. So it's a Bloody Larry.
Awful.
It's actually really good. I
it?
actually like it. Yeah, I think it's a better taste.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so is it instead of the tomato juice?
No, it's incorporated in. They just give you a little squirt of Guinness in there, and it's
wow.
It actually pumps up it cuts the acidity of the tomato juice a little.
Oh, I can see that. And I have to try it now.
It's really very tasty.
This is on my rant to-do list. I suggest you add it to yours. Go to the acoustic brunch. Get your Bloody Larry.
Correct.
Nice.
Get a Bloody Larry.
I'm so glad that you're here to tell me about this. So, in the past, RANT's been going on this is 6 years
Year
now.
number 6.
Dang. Do you have a little story about how it started? How it started for you?
How it started for me, I was actually, back then, I was working part-time as cooking in the Hambone's kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
And Michael, a.k.a. Zombo Divine. I mean, for years, I'd worked at Howler's doing booking and everything else. And for years, I'd been talking about doing one really cool all-day music festival. And nobody was really doing that at that point. I wanted to do one in Highland Park. But Zombo walked in, and he was hanging out in there, and he said, hey, I have this idea for an all-day morning and overnight music festival, and he wanted to use the empty pool. at Leslie Park.
There's an empty
There's
pool?
Look across the street. There's a big empty swimming pool that used to be Leslie Pool.
So he wanted to put bands
He wanted to
down
put
there?
bands in the empty pool.
Why are
He
we
said,
doing
"Do you
that?
want to help me?" And I was like, "Oh, hell yeah," because I had been talking about doing that for years and just didn't have the wherewithal. And of course, Zombo had all the connections. So we had a meeting and we went back and forth, and the city was just. The fact is, using a city facility included a lot of red tape. And the fact is, if any of the neighbors complained about noise, they could shut us down at any moment. And then there were issues of lighting and sound in an empty swimming pool.
Oh, it sounds so cool, though.
Well, Zombo had actually done a couple of shows in the empty pool.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's so rad.
And back then, LU was actually, they wanted to do something with that empty pool. They seem to have abandoned it since then. I don't know why, but
Wanted to do something with the empty pool.
there were all these plans and developers offering, we're going to do this, there was going to be a spray park. Now it's just sitting there rotting, and because they're too busy building $1 million high rises and whatever. But
So how did things progress?
so anyway,
out
it
of
progressed.
the empty pool.
There were all these discussions. We had meetings. We could get a street closure. Back then, Spirit was still a moose club, and we talked about using that. But there were issues between them and the neighbors, and so we nixed that. And then we could get a street closure down by Stinky's, and we talked about it. And we just, at a certain point, it looked like things were going to be dead in the water, and because we couldn't go after dark outside. There were just too many neighbor issues and noise violations and whatever. And we're sitting in this meeting, and Zombo and I were like, well, what if we just go into the venues after dark? Like, we do the whole thing outside and then just go into the venues. And, like, it was like this light bulb went on. Like, oh, yeah, like the cookie tour. Like, yeah, only we use all the other places that aren't on the cookie tour, like the Thunder, and Don Pergel, that owned the Thunderbird at that time, jumped right in, was like, absolutely. And at the time I was doing booking at Hambones, I'm like, well, I can bring Hambones in,
So it's like outdoor festival versus going inside and
Right.
populating a bunch of different
Right.
venues.
And it just got to, and then we just started asking places, like, I mean, now we have, like, there's music in Caligram, which is a ladies' underwear store.
Yes.
In the window, and
I always want to see
like,
music when I'm shopping for panties.
the first year I put a band in there, in that drummer in that window, and he was like, I don't think I've ever played to naked mannequins before.
Yes.
I was like,
That's also
well,
a
hey,
pretty sweet backdrop. Of,
and the woman that owns the place, honestly, she makes a party out of it. She invites all her friends and has
Nice.
hors d'oeuvres out and stuff. It's actually a pretty cool venue to play. Anybody that's ever been assigned there, like, looked at me crazy, but then afterwards was like, that was fun, So,
oh yeah, I've had a bunch of like
the first year we used the cemetery. We actually had music in the cemetery.
Oh,
we had
man.
a stage and music in the cemetery, but again, there are
The
all
city
these rules.
thing?
No, not the city thing. You're not allowed to start till 3:00 because of funerals, and you have to be done at dusk. And you had to hire bonded security, and we had to rent porta-johns. And so the second year we moved down to Arsenal Park because the city does all that. Like, they got the porta-johns and they have their own security.
That's really nice.
But then that was costing us a ton of money for staging and all this
We're not
other
on
stuff.
the FCC. It's fine. You can.
No, it was like that cost us a lot.
Cost
And then
us
last
a
year's
lot of money.
yeah, and last year's torrential downpours that had the stage literally floating in the park and unable to use.
Wait, was it really literally? Was it?
Oh yeah, if you look on the page, there's a photograph of. Luckily, there's no photograph of me wading in with my skirt tied around my waist trying to empty the drain. But it's
true
just,
love.
we just decided this year it was way too expensive, and it was not successful to get people to fill that park. But another cool new venue opened in Lawrenceville called Bay 4 down at the Foundry, and it's a huge outdoor space, and so we will be utilizing that. That's where you'll be playing Friday night. There'll be food trucks, and Victory Beer, our official beer sponsor, will be down there
I need to
selling
talk to them.
brews. Yeah. So there'll be Victory Beer
And Victory at the Crossroads.
And Victory at the Crossroads, and I believe Wood Fired Oven on Friday night will be selling foods. And
yeah, on our, it seems like the days are kind of like cut in half, so there's like the daytime and nighttime portions. Because I saw Strange Monsters, who was playing earlier on Saturday
at Bay For You.
Oh, they're Saturday? That's
they're
what
Saturday
it is?
at Bay For You.
Okay, we're Friday, and I was like mixing up the two events on Facebook, but the way that they're made, the titles are very different, so it creates a good contrast between the two. For our Friday show, it's Action Camp, Patty the Wanderer, Sea Rights, and Sosa?
Sosa 412 or 312?
412?
Yeah.
It's 412. It's Pittsburgh. It's 412.
Right. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I wasn't sure if it stood for something, or there weren't any links, so I was like,
I will have to find them. I know they're out there because we listened to all these. Jen and Fisher and I from the park. Jen from the park plan and I sat and listened to 200 and some bands.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you would have wanted to be a fly on the wall. It was hilarious. The comments in our little spreadsheet were hilarious. Like, like what she liked, what I liked, and
didn't you guys have like margaritas one night?
Yeah,
Crazy
I made a picture of margaritas and.
Liz, are you okay? Liz ate peanut butter. They almost called 911. And I was like, because her face is all like, rah, and it's not like blue or anything. She's just like, she didn't look great. It looked like something was wrong. Let's say that. And I said, do you need 911? Kind of jokingly. And she's like, no, they already offered to call. You missed all that because I'm here on the computer setting up. But how are you doing?
I'm alive.
How are you feeling? Oh, she's alive. Oh, she even sounds alive. Like your voice doesn't sound like you're dying. So that's good. Real quick, for those of you who tuned in, Brenda Leeds of Old Game is tuned in. She has a show tonight. They have a show tonight.
Yeah, they're at Howler's.
At Howler's, which is pretty cool. So as much as we're pimping Rant, there's still music to be seen tonight on a Thursday night.
We'll call it pre-Rant at Howler's.
Yeah, go
up
to
the
Howler's
hill.
tonight.
Go up the hill. Pre-Rant and then post-Rant, there's a show on Sunday night at Howler's. So.
Oh, that's beautiful. Howler's, 7 days a week? You have music at Howler's 7 days a week?
We aim for 5, but during the summer it ends up 7 because
it's summer.
It's summer and it's touring season, and every band and their mother is wandering through and looking for a stage.
Love it. Sometimes I'd be hitting up bands for our shows in other cities, and I would like, oh, do they have an event? Oh, they're playing Howler's. How cool. There's a Philly band called Resilient I hit up, and I was like, hey, you guys
they
are
played
pretty
Howler's
cool.
the other night.
Were they already through? Oh, yeah, because I was in Indianapolis.
Yeah, they were here the other night.
Yeah, I told them, I was like, Howler's is great. I'm not there. Have a wonderful show. So Brenda said hello. My boy Dig It Dave, former drummer of my former Erie band, tuned in. Vincent Didiano is also tuned in. And they all said
Vincent
hello.
Didiano?
Yeah, he's a comic. So
oh, dear God.
Yeah.
He didn't grow up in Highland Park, did he?
Morningside, I believe.
Morningside.
No,
the Didianos lived on Mellon Street.
He actually, yeah, it might have been Highland Park.
Yeah.
And now he's in
They lived on Mellon Street. They had a little market on Mellon Street.
He's shown me a place that he lived while we're walking around by the art house, which is in Highland Park. And I don't think we make it all the way to Morningside when we walk.
No.
So I'm guessing.
Didiano's market was on Mellon Street.
Really?
Yeah, I lived around the corner.
I wonder, Vincent, did your family own that market? Are you related to those people? There was a cute little market on Mellon. It was there when I moved in, but now it is not there anymore.
Well, there were a few, but Didiano's was down on the other side of Stanton Avenue.
Vinny says that was my grandpa who owned the little market. That's so cool.
Then one of his dads or uncles I went to high school with.
Punk rock grandma. Punk rock mama.
Yeah.
Mama.
Whatever.
Punk rock mom, Pittsburgh scene, knows all.
No, I went to high school with a bunch of Didianas. There was an older brother who I can't remember, who was like one of these really hot dudes in high school that every girl was after.
Ooh.
And he dated some girl from Stanton Heights, and it was like this huge jealousy thing that everybody was jealous because she had the Didiano brother. And then one played for the Bulldogs with my ex-husband and my brother. I don't know. There was I remember 3 brothers, but I'm pretty sure there were 4.
Well, if you're interested
3 that I remember.
in talking to a Didiano, comment below. We will hook you up.
Yeah.
Hello, Jim McHugh. I hope I pronounced that right. When you see me, let me know. Also tuned in, and Lex Thrush also tuned in. Hey guys. When you talk to them, they interact back. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
So usually I'll keep my phone on my lap. And see, Brenda told us 8 p.m. 5 acoustic acts, all money donated to Persad.
The Persad Center, yeah.
Persad's great, right?
Yeah.
Like that's for LGBTQ, or is
Right.
that for trans community specifically?
I don't think so. I think it's for all.
LGBTQ,
I'm not positive. Though.
IA plus.
Look it up, people.
Do your research.
Do
We
some
can only do so
Google.
much
Do
for
some
you.
Googling here.
So what? Vinny says more. Joe, Vince, his dad. Oh, Vinny, are you a junior? Vinny Didiano Jr. Oh, we gotta call him Junior. We gotta torture this boy.
DJ.
RJ Dietrich, hello. Tuned in with a happy, lovey cat face. I don't know what that means.
No, either.
LGBTQIAA Mental Health Services. Boom!
Nice.
Brenda leads for the win. Thank you, lady. If you want to squeeze in, Liz, now that you're not dying.
I'm dying less. Yeah,
please
can I do
don't. Like, we can't. I don't think it's okay for that to happen on the air. Like, there's gonna be some sort of weird, messy stuff. So please don't.
that? Is it
Just
the
don't
legal-
die.
The legal bits of it?
Are you coming in on this side?
Yeah, I
with
figured
all
there
the
was-
cords
All right,
and
well,
stuff.
fine. There was a chair there. I'll go to the other side. I was trying to keep you in the center. You're the center.
In the center.
I can do it.
All right, folks.
I have faith in it. Just I'll deal with it. Look at the people.
That sigh you just heard is a classic Mary Jo. I gotta deal with some bullshit sigh. Please enjoy while we rearrange the chairs. You got that?
Yeah.
This is what I love about Liz. Is like I can rely on her to do stuff and not have to necessarily worry about doing everything myself.
Okay.
Thanks,
I'm
buddy.
gonna turn down the gain while we move stuff around so that we don't torture the audience. We shift over a little bit.
I'll shift over a little.
I should
And
have
also
set this up before. That would have been intelligent, but I'm not always that great. See, you're still centered. You're the focus.
I got the mic between my
I love
legs.
the hives. Hives are great. Not like the band, but
Not like that.
Whatever.
Get close, guys.
All right. So where were we? What are we talking? Now
We're
that I'm done-
we're sort
now
of
that I'm
talking
done
about the
going down
history of RANT.
going down memory lane of the old Mellon Street.
The
days.
Didianos.
push it off the edge.
I won't push it off.
Are you sure?
Okay. Sure. Look at this background. It's beautiful. I feel so bad for those of you who are just listening because you should probably just come down to the Abbey on Butler Street here in Pittsburgh,
Come on down, have coffee.
especially Saturday in the daytime. They have lavender. I freak out when a coffee shop has lavender. It's like the best. I am currently drinking the first fancy drink I've had in weeks because whenever I go on the road, I just drink all my coffee black because I can't drink milk. So it's just black coffee, black. So this is my first fancy drink since being on the road, since coming back at 3 a.m. Wednesday morning. It was great. It was a lot of fun. I feel like I need to start a blog where I write this stuff down and talk about it, and not just all video stuff. I have so many video ideas. Sorry, but
Where are we at here?
well, we were getting into the story of the first rant.
Yeah. So yeah.
What
That's
year
kinda
was
how
that?
This was
2011.
2012. It's 6. This is year 6, and it's 2017.
Yeah, so I'm guessing
do some math.
2012.
Do the math.
Jared
Oh, anyway, it
Tracy
was like-
says Devin sucks.
Devin does not suck.
Isn't Jared in his band? He's like
Yeah.
good friends with him.
Jared would.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, and it was kind
Story
of
the
like
first
this
rant.
light bulb went on. Well, let's just go into the venues, and Thunderbird jumped in, and Ham Buns jumped in, and we just we had a lot of Zombo ran up and down the street, convincing all of them, and we talked the car club guys into driving their custom classic cars down, and we got our street closure down at Stinky's. And Stinky's ran out of beer, and Stinky's ran out of food, and
Wow.
Stinky's ran out of... Well, nobody had a clue what this was going to do. It was literally just, let's just throw all the shit at the wall and see what sticks, you know? And it was...
And it took over the whole neighborhood.
It took over the whole neighborhood, and we were really surprised at how wonderfully successful it was. And back then, it was kind of like me and Zombo and Chet Vincent. And the first 2 years, it was the three of us. the one year, the first year we went into the park, I was meeting stage builders at like 6:30 a.m. in the park to help build the stage. And Chet and Zombo were literally spent the entire day running up and down Butler Street, moving PA systems.
Didn't
in
Chet...
this wonderful game of PA Jenga or something.
Didn't Chet go door to door with flyers?
Chet went door to door putting flyers and everybody. It was insane, but we pulled it off. And then, we're now at year 6, and now all the other neighborhoods have joined in. Because back then we were the only game in town.
Birthed.
And it sort of birthed a whole...
Or at least planted the seed of idea for Deutschtown Music Festival, Millvale Music Festival.
What? Sorry. I represent.
What, Millvale?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Millvale.
Whatever.
River's Edge, heavily involved in Millvale Music Festival. Stay tuned next summer. I'm certain it's happening again.
Oh, it is.
Oh, sure.
We have meetings every other week already.
It's
a way to do it.
Just, and now the summer is like every week there's a damn music festival somewhere in this city. So originally it was always the first Saturday in August, but it got so packed that we decided we were going to move out and take a chance and go to Labor Day this year, sort of be the closing party.
Yeah, I've heard both
and
sides.
We all
where it's like, I don't know if this is gonna work.
Yeah,
this is a great idea.
We kind of went back and forth, like, I don't know about this, and then I think it was Andrew who joined in. I think 3 years ago. Andrew Belsick. Yeah, he came on board 3 years ago as our organizer of me and Zombo.
I remember you being so thankful for him the first year.
You know what? Here's the thing.
Spreadsheets. This is great.
I love organized people.
He handed me spreadsheets, and I held up a notebook. I'm like, yeah, put that in here. The fact is, though, it's nice to have somebody that has that kind of a mindset when you're dealing with people like Zombo and I, who just fly by the seat of our pants and
It sounds like you have a great team assembled.
We do. This year was a little bit of a struggle because everybody had other projects. Andrew got a new job and was out of town for months, and Zombo, of course, we know is now running to be our state rep from Lawrenceville.
Yeah, do you want to pimp that real quick?
You need to get Michael to pimp that, but he is going up against what is it, a Ravenstall that's now the state rep for the district that includes Lawrenceville and Northside and Bellevue.
I am not 100% sure, and I'm going to say because it's not my district.
However, that was gerrymandered. It's weird as hell. It's like Lawrenceville, and then it goes across
the north
bridge,
side. Yeah, that's really interesting.
And then includes Polish Hill, but skips over. Yeah,
it's like it's so odd how they break those up. I'm like,
I don't know how the hell they get, but he's now running up against a Ravenstall who has name recognition but hasn't done a damn thing. So, but anyway, everybody's kind of been really slammed and busy. So this year, although we have somehow pulled it together, it's been really stressful. Like last minute drop-offs, and a lot of my own personal lack of communication, and because I have a job too. And
over 200 bands.
Yeah, and it just, Janet Fisher jumped on this year, and she started assigning bands, and then I think I yelled at her once and told her she was wrong, and I hurt her feelings. I told her she was going to hate me by the end of this, by the way, and she probably does, but it was more my not communicating properly to her and doing the thing that I hate the most, which is expecting people to be able to read my mind. And
is this a public apology, Joe?
I already apologized publicly.
But anyone that she hasn't hit up yet, she apologizes.
Yeah. Whatever. If I did it, I'm sorry. Whatever.
That's how I live my life.
Yeah.
Well,
I try. Sometimes I just don't get it right. But it's coming together. One way or another, it's coming together. And the one thing that we've discovered is it doesn't matter how prepared or unprepared we are. Once it starts happening, it just happens. It just happens.
Part of that is your team, though. Like the
no,
bigger
I think
team
it's
that
more,
I think descends
it's our team
on that day. So the people who are running the stages, because I've been paired up with people and I'm like, oh God, who's this Don Strange guy? I hope this works out.
Don
Like,
has
is he
been doing.
cool?
Don has been doing the graphics for
he's
6 years,
amazing.
and every
I
year
love
he
him.
tops himself. This year, our theme is a play on it being the 50th anniversary of the Summer of Love and the
Oh, is
Monterey
it?
and the Monterey Pop Festival that started all this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well,
Like I read a little thing that you
like.
wrote, but I don't know anything about that
Whatchamacallit, the
stuff.
daisies and the VW bus with the instruments hanging
Yeah.
out wasn't a clue to you? Or what?
I don't know anything about that stuff.
You need to learn some damn music history, lady.
Oh, I play
You-
music. I don't know about it.
Well, for somebody that plays music, you should know some of the history.
I know I'm terrible. It's
Beat
really
your
bad.
ass. You
Well,
know,
can't you give us like an abridged version for myself?
50
and
years
the
ago,
other people?
I mean, this year is the 50th anniversary of what was termed the Summer of Love, which was the happening of young people just heading for San Francisco, and the Monterey Pop Festival happened that year, which became the model for Woodstock and all the other. And until Monterey, nobody had heard of Jimi Hendrix or Janis Joplin or like all of these people played Monterey that nobody had heard of before, and they are now icons to us.
Wait, who are these people? I'm kidding. I am kidding.
Lean into this. So, you know, one of the things about RANT that we've always been proud of is that everybody gets an invite to the table at RANT. The other festivals are wonderful festivals, but they are a little more choosy about wanting the...
Like juried.
Yeah, they're juried. For us, it's like, just submit, we'll find you a space. If I got to put you in the window of an underwear store, I'm going to find you a place to play.
There is.
I've played that there often, actually. Thank you for that spot.
You missed it. There really is an underwear store
Yeah,
show. What's the name
Caligram.
of it?
Oh, I was kidding. What? Where?
No, Caligram. It's down by Needs, and they sell women's and I think even men's high-end lingerie and whatever. And they've got this beautiful plate glass window, and I put music in that
That's really cool. Okay, I was all right. Awesome.
window. No, and the owner is a really awesome person. You know, she, like I said, she makes a party out of it. So
Can't make this shit up, Liz.
you know, there'll be bands in front of Mister, the barbershop down here.
I've been
Fancy-
telling
the
Vincent
fancy
Giuliano
the fancy hipster barbershop
that he needs to go there.
does the beard things, and there'll be music this year on the new rooftop deck at New Amsterdam that
Oh, that's
didn't
killer.
exist last
that
year.
is really cool.
And there will be music at Stinky's this year. The Car Club guys couldn't make it because they have their two big rallies the following week. But the I Made It Market and Neighborhood Flea is bringing a bunch of awesome vendors to sell their wares, and there'll be stuff from the vintage market and all that. We have the new Bay 4 this year, the AOH, which is the Ancient Order of Hibernians. Before anybody says, what's the AOH? It's an old Irish club. It looks
Hibernians?
like a Hibernians.
I don't know what that is either.
It's
and I'm
Wait,
Irish.
hibernate? Is that like
No,
Hibernians?
Hibernians was a name for the mountain people of Ireland.
Oh, sure.
And there's a club that's been around the United States, God, since the Irish started immigrating here. There's an AOH club down on Carnegie Street, right off of Butler. And Molly Alphabet and Chet Vincent will be hosting there. It's
Yay.
Molly's Family's Club.
Aw.
That's cute.
Deep Roots.
Yeah, Deep Roots.
Deep Roots for the
So they'll be
Molly's a
hosting
mountain
down.
person.
They'll be hosting
A
down
mountain
there. They've got some bluegrass bands and
She definitely
Park
looks
Plan
Irish
and
as all
Lo-Fi
hell.
Delphi, who rickrolled us, by the way.
Oh, I forgot to mention that. Those fuckers.
Lo-Fi Delphi. We were trying to find music, her intro music, and on YouTube,
Yep.
you search for Lo-Fi Delphi, and this thing comes up that it's Lo-Fi
Official
Delphi,
video.
official video, and you hit play, and you get rickrolled.
Yep.
Ah,
Rick rolled as fuck.
Andrew has a sense of humor, I assume.
I was tempted to play that, but I don't
think
It would
people would have
translate
gotten
right,
it.
yeah.
Wouldn't have translated right yet. I don't
Well,
think
no,
people
it
would
wouldn't
have
have
gotten the
translated
joke.
right, and I don't think that
They'll
song
be at the
is
VFW.
legal. Yeah, legal.
They'll be
for the
at the
network.
VFW, so there's some awesome bands down there. And Friday night it'll be Bay 4, Ham Bones, and the Bowling Alley, and now also Pints on
Arsenal.
Penn. Yeah,
Oh,
Arsenal.
Pints on- yeah, I
Pints
saw
on Penn
Pints
has
on
joined
Penn
this
came
year.
in,
So
yeah.
Friday it'll be Pints on Penn, Bay 4, Ham Bones, and Arsenal Bowling Alley, both on the lanes and in the lounge. Saturday, we start at noon, and just
Giving me
down
the
at
energy.
Stinky's, and God, I can't even remember. It's just all through Lawrenceville. You'll be over here. You'll be in the coffee house with some singer-songwriters and
Just go
fun
anywhere
things.
in Lawrenceville.
You just wander up and down the
Anywhere.
street. You'll find
Gas
them. Yeah,
station.
they'll
Did you
find
find
you.
maps?
Huh?
'Cause
There are maps that have been printed. I think Zombo dropped a whole bunch of them off at Ham Bones. They'll
Ham
be
Bones.
floating around. There'll be maps. The only thing that I want to tell you is that somehow when we sent it all to the printer, the Abbey, which is where we are now, their nighttime stuff didn't show up on the map, and I'm not sure if Pints on Penn. I think they're listed, but I don't think the map only goes as far as Arsenal Cider House. Pints on Penn's 2 doors out. Just keep going.
You can find it.
And Arsenal Cider House, starting at noon or 1, there will be music in their lovely patio deck, and you can go get a nice crisp cold cider. And
Oh, I was out on
Listen to
the
music.
patio out here at the Abbey, and I like walked out, and it's outside, and there's a fountain. I was like wishing I could set up out there, but it's too much ambient noise.
Oh, yeah.
And it smelled like Paris, so I guess Paris smells like fountains.
It smells like Paris because a half a block up is like the French pastry shop.
Oh, I
So
didn't
they're
know
baked-
that.
there's a
I thought
French-
you were going to go whorehouse.
Like
That was weird.
gourmand. Yeah, there's
I was expecting something.
there's a
like
bakery half a block away that makes French.
Oh, yeah.
It's
The
so
guys are
beautiful.
So you're
out
sitting
there,
out
though.
there, and you got a fountain, and you can smell the bakery, and
Oh, it's
it does.
beautiful.
Yeah,
I need to come here.
Keep
just
walking
to
down
read
to the Rite
books.
Aid, and where you can smell nasty the river, which stinks to high heaven today.
Oh, I've seen worse.
So-
where was I? I was in West Virginia. That's
Yeah.
where I was. I was in West Virginia, and I always walk up to whatever water source is nearby in a city, and I'm like, oh, look, a river, and I walk up to it, and Krish is there, and I like turn around. I'm like, no, not this river. Go back.
Save
Go
yourself.
back. Save yourself. Run.
'Cause
the
I
youth
will-
stage is back this year. This year we have youth kids 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
We have them at the Boys and Girls Club on the front porch on Saturday from 4 to 8:30, I believe. And then the kids are taking over the bowling alley Sunday morning. So there'll be the acoustic cafe, the acoustic brunch at Ham Bones, and the youth bands going on at the bowling alley.
So there's plenty of all ages
Yeah.
options.
Yes.
That's so cool.
There are all, and that's the other thing. We try to make sure it's not just a bar crawl.
Yeah.
You know?
That's great, because that can get really old really
Well,
fast.
and it's great because the bars make money, but then everybody else gets excluded, and it's not a bar crawl. And we want people to be able to bring their families and their kids and enjoy some music. And
And you're a family punk rock grandma.
well, yeah,
Family
I got a
fun
bunch of
program.
kids and grandkids, and
Yeah.
and so I want the exposure to be there for everybody, and not just everybody heading for the bars.
It was a very inclusive festival altogether.
That's what we try. We try
age,
to inclusion,
music.
We aim for diversity, and Jen coming on this year really drove me there. Like she would, we were going through things, and she was marking which bands had people of color, which bands had females, which bands were, and trying to make sure they were placed in good places, and not scattered to the corners of Lawrenceville where people wouldn't see them.
Yeah.
You know, we have the 2 breweries, Hop Farm and Roundabout, which always are fun places to go hang out. And they put the bands right in the bay door, so you're sort of indoor.
Nice.
So you're sort of indoor and outdoor.
Oh, that's cool.
You're both.
I like to be able to see in the venue and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, it took me a while to understand why a lot of places will like black out their windows. But it irritated me at first, like pre-21 and in the first few years. Like, I want to see in there so that I know what's going on,
Right.
so like I can gauge it. I have terrible social anxiety. Or
What?
I did. I know.
Nothing
right?
about that. What's it like?
But now that I know what goes on in some of those places,
You're
I'm
like,
like, I get it. It's fine. Just, you know what? I would like that. Actually, yeah, let's block out the windows so they don't see what I'm doing. This is great.
All right.
But
Well, before we put that curtain up at Howlers in the window, there'd be shows
I
going on.
love the Howlers window. It's great.
But there would be
People
shows
like
going.
talk to me through the window. They're waving.
People
like, I
would be
like.
bringing their little camp chairs down and setting them up on the
my
side.
God. That's a bit much.
Yeah, it was.
But I've actually had someone come up to me in Howlers and say, I saw you on the street, I came in, and I want to buy a CD.
Right.
That's awesome.
And we've had that happen.
cool?
That is really
We've had
cool.
that happen.
That's amazing.
We've had bands play and people come by and they see it from the street and they do come in and pay the cover, and then you have the ones that stand out there
Sometimes
and dance
buy
on
merch.
and dance on the sidewalk and watch the show from the sidewalk, which
Also, another great
pisses
backdrop.
off one in particular promoter that I will not, who I will not name.
Oh, Chet Vincent tuned in.
Hey, Chet.
And our ex-housemate at the art house, Mike Gogno, tuned in. If you're still tuned in, I miss you, brother. I haven't heard from you in forever. And Denny Stewart and Nino Albanese.
Nina.
So we got a good crew. We got a good crew tuned in. If they're still tuned in, who knows?
Yeah.
But the diversity thing, I think it's
Yeah.
really interesting because there have been so many instances where I've talked to promoters and I've said something like, did you notice that you didn't have any people of color on your thing that you were doing? And usually the response is, no, I've never really thought about it. And then I notice that they'll start to like bring in more women, and I don't like the term people of color. It really bothers me. I don't have the answer to that
I don't have
issue
an answer
yet.
to that issue either, but it seems that as an old white woman, I need to honor the terms that the people set out for me, because
That's
I
a good
don't know
answer.
them, you know. And that I never really thought about it. It is really what it is about, because we don't think about it. As,
That's the privilege.
and you
thing.
need to. That's the privilege, that we don't
once
think about
it's
it.
pointed
But
out-
once it's pointed out, you must make a concerted effort to pull in other colors and
I've seen
genders
it,
and
which I think is great. So
I've
you pointed
seen it
out,
from some,
it's
and
noticed,
then
and
yeah,
it's
I've
addressed.
pointed it out, and I've seen it from some, and then I've seen others just pay no attention and do what they do anyway, and stay in their comfort zone, and that's their comfort
I
zone.
haven't
and-
seen that so much.
Oh, I have.
Well, you're
I mean,
you're
some people
doing
are always
way
gonna
more
do that.
shows than
People
me.
are always gonna do that.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
But you know, you can't.
Yes, you can. That's the whole point of the
You
show.
can't change the whole world. You can change.
You can
as
change.
much-
We're
the
doing it
world-
right now.
You can change the world around you.
Yeah,
you can
that's
be what little change you can make. You can't force the rest of the world to do that.
Hey, that broadcast
As much
is on
as
the internet.
as much as
we're gonna
International.
force everybody.
whatever, you know, you
need,
just
like, a
can't.
hypnotoad.
You know, people are just.
This is an authoritarian regime. We're forcing everybody to do what we want.
all right.
I'm
well,
kidding. No,
I'm
I'm
not.
totally
I used
against
to tell
that.
my kids this is not a democracy.
I am
this is a tyranny, and I am the tyrant. Now,
I am
shut the fuck up and do what I tell you.
I found out that I'm a libertarian, so
Oh dear God, one of those.
supposedly.
I like you take a quiz and you're like, oh, I'm that. Then.
Yeah, that quiz.
If it told
It's
you
the
that you were a
quiz.
cheetah, would you be like, I'm a cheetah?
That would be my spirit animal. Yeah, I know it's some kind of like giant cat.
I
It's
see
basically,
that.
or
It's
like
a big
maybe
cat
a
with
wolf
spots that's really fast.
or a coyote, something like that is my spirit animal. I'm like doing this weird scratching motion for those of you who are listening.
Make the scratch
Rawr.
sound. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna have you make sound effects.
I'm
You
gonna
were
make for what?
I said I was just gonna have you make sound effects, but you were just gonna like say what it was. So you're like, sound of rain.
Oh, we should do that. This sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, we could sell that.
So you put a concerted effort into diversity with the booking and where people were placed and things of that nature. I
Yes.
think that's great. I think that's a theme that I've seen going on with a lot of shows. And also when I was doing this and I was thinking of who to talk to, I really wanted to bring you on because you're punk rock mom, and I will.
Great time.
I've messaged Joe I have like.
To be fair, I tried to get Jen to get an hour off work to join me because I hate doing these things by myself. Because I always end up saying something stupid, and I need somebody to kick me under the table and like, no, don't say that.
I haven't
for
noticed
my
anything.
entire life. If somebody could just follow me around and kick me.
And
every time I say
Jen
something
is
stupid.
always very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here. She's very politically conscious of how she says things, and
Yeah.
she doesn't insult. Where I tend to insult the shit out of people, and then realize later that I did that.
But I like that.
But I do it to my kids, you know. Like I yell at my kids and my grandkids, and they're like, "Mima, do you know what you just said?" Oh yeah, all right. Sorry, I didn't mean that. You know, like.
Well, I was anxious to have you on the show, in general, and because I love working with you and I respect your work and everything.
Well, thank you.
Also because you're one of the female presences with the
In a
RANT
very
Festival.
male-dominated. Yeah.
Yeah, in general. So that's a problem that I've addressed a few different times with a few different people, where it's like, if your pool of talent is predominantly male or predominantly white, what if you don't have anybody else to pull from, right?
Right.
Do you understand where? Yeah, you said right. That's where, like, that's another roadblock to face. Where, what if you don't have more talent to pull from, right? And I've been
Well, but
saying
there's
this
always
for
more
years.
talent to pull from. I think it's just a matter of making an effort to look around, to leave your comfort zone. Like, we all tend to have a comfort zone. We all tend to have certain music we like, certain music we don't like, we don't really listen to. I mean, I'm an older woman. I don't generally listen to hip-hop. I listen to old school rock and roll and whatever. If I'm given my druthers. If I'm at home and I'm looking for an album to put on the turntable and something I want to listen to. But I make an effort to leave my comfort zone, to go and listen to other things, to wander to where my 13-year-old granddaughter and her friends are listening to music and listen to what they're listening to, and listen, just so that I am making that effort to not just sit and listen to fucking Elvis records or Sinatra records or whatever, you know.
I love Sinatra.
I actually found a really good Sinatra album at some record store for like in the dollar bin. It was like mine.
Yes.
But you know, you have to make that effort. If all you listen to is white dude yacht rock, white dude music, and that's where you're going to pull from when you're trying to put these things together. You got to make an effort. You got to leave your comfort zone, which is why we do this at RANT. Why I will back a bluegrass band up with, like, here you will have a rockabilly band, a punk band, a hip hop dude, and a country rock guy all on the same stage in one night, followed by a soul DJ. Like, it's all going to happen here at the Abbey in one night. So it's an effort to make people leave their comfort zone and listen to something or see something that you might not go to on your own. And that's what RANT does. It throws it all in the pot and stirs the pot and says, here it is. You know, roam around to the venues, check out Lawrenceville, stop at the food trucks down at the Foundry or down at Bay 4, you know, but find something that is not what you would normally go out for. You know,
I think too, because the way it's scheduled, so it's I want to go see Lo-Fi Delphi, and then there's something on that stage that you've never heard of or you haven't seen
Correct.
before. I think that's great.
And that's the effort we make with RANT, is that we invite everybody. Everybody's invited into the pool. You know, there will be some hardcore metal and punk at another new venue to us, Ravenwood Collective, which is a tattoo shop that's new. They're down next to Goldmark. Horse Rock Entertainment is going to do all the sound and the PA and host that stage. And it's punk and hardcore and metal, because that's always the hardest to place. Because all the venues are like, no, we don't want that. Can you send us some singer-songwriters? I'm like, seriously? How many of those?
They're the easiest to get into a place, because you really just need one human and their instrument. You don't even necessarily need a PA.
So you can check out Ravenwood Collective, the new tattoo shop in Lawrenceville. Maybe schedule some new ink or whatever.
I want to pose this to you too, because I've gotten a couple comments where I'm like, what about the talent pool? And I like, Chris and I actually got into like an argument over this at one point, which I think is funny. So when I was thinking of who to have on the show, I wanted to have you on the show because you're punk rock mom, and because you're a female presence within RANT, and you know, lots of reasons. So were it not you, and Jen's at work, and then I was gonna also talk to Zombo, but then I lose my female presence. and then there's Andrew, and then I lose my female presence, right?
Well,
so of those
but
4
Andrew's
people,
wife Becky was on with Brian yesterday, so
did see that.
We sent the female force out this year.
We're representing.
Yes.
So then Becky would have also been an option.
Right.
So the opportunity to spread further from the group of, 5 people?
Mm-hmm. Andrea that puts the youth bands together. Andrea Pingus, whose son Luke is a bass player in several of the youth bands. She's been a godsend in organizing these young bands.
So I feel like
really
this is a great example of how just asking provides results, right?
Correct.
So I'm like, who do I talk to? Well, I know these 2 people. Let's just start with you and Zombo. I know these 2 people. So what if I can't get this person? Then there's nobody else. Well, then I ask you, and then you're like, oh, well, actually, here are more options for you.
Well,
and if those didn't work out, I feel like you could still default. Well, what about Molly Alphabet?
Right.
She's been involved forever. And now that I'm talking about it, I'm starting to think of more people too.
Well,
which I think is cool.
Yeah, everybody has always pitched in. You have Dawn Strange, who's done the graphic work from day one. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of moving parts, and people that pitch in that you don't even realize. People that pitch in the sound techs. The army of sound guys.
Army of sound guys.
Well, I mean, these are mostly guys that either do this for a living or know how to run a PA. Like a couple of them are just musicians who happen to know how to run a PA, who step up and
like Jeremy Kaywood, who I've seen run all over the city.
Yeah, Jeremy has now become a sound guy. He's self-taught. But Frank Fornsaglio, who'll be running sound here, is just a local Pittsburgh musician who's learned how to run a damn board. And he bartends at Howlers, and he's hilarious, but he's funny as hell.
My drummer's tuned in.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis. Crossroads. So we're coming up on the hour.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a moment to do our Hambone sponsorship, which that broadcast is sponsored by Hambone's Pub, located right here in the neighborhood of Lawrenceville on the east end of Pittsburgh, PA. Hambone's. What's that?
There will be music at Hambone's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the acoustic brunch, which I will definitely be checking out, if not playing. I don't know. I'm going to take my guitar and see what Jeremy Kaywood says, and I feel like he's going to say yes. Every other day of the week, Hambone's provides entertainment 7 days a week, so check them out.
September 9th at Hambone's, 7 p.m. Zhoozh 5.
Oh, shit, son.
Yeah.
Zhoozh 5?
Yeah.
So what's the Zhoozh 5?
This time we have Adam Cleese as the musician.
Please! Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
He's going to be great at that.
I have Carrie Collins as the feature.
Oh, dude,
And
I
I'm
have to
hoping
go
they're
to
gonna
this.
Collaborate, yeah. Michael Cohen is my comedian. I will not have Rosacea.
I just jizzed my
for
pants.
once. I'm gonna have Spider.
I jizzed all over my pants.
Who? What? What is this a comment?
No, yeah. With that lineup, and then Cohen comedy,
you personally.
sploosh.
Rob Spear and Friend as improv. I don't know what's happening
Rob
with that.
Spear hosts Damn Near Killed Him,
Right
which
before this.
is right before that broadcast from 9 to 10 a.m. on the River's Edge Radio. This sounded very Yogi Bear. hey.
What else is on that then? Me, I'm the host. Is that all the people? I guess that's the people.
Wow, I can't wait to go to that show.
It is
Zhoozh 5 at
Zhoozh
Hambone's,
5.
folks.
It's Night of the Living Zhoozh.
Yeah. Night of the Living Zhoozh. I love your titles. They're so great.
I do what I can. Zhoozh, if you don't know, was co-created by myself and Ian Insect as a variety of different genres that we all kind of mix together. Everyone works together. It's a great collaboration. So yeah,
Collab show.
yeah, it's like once a month. I might start doing it.
I played it once before. It was
She
great.
did. She was fantastic. So yes, please come.
We have a Plate and Bowl event on Saturday, the day beforehand, too. So the 8th,
yeah.
you can come to Plate and Bowl in Highland Park, and then the 9th, you can go to Zhoozh in Lawrenceville. This is after RANT, the following weekend, which I'll be back to talk more about that later. Any final thoughts on the RANT Festival? I'm so glad that you came on the show.
Just come on out all weekend, Labor Day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Offer sacrifices, blood sacrifices to the weather gods. That
As one is
It
one
does-
to do.
We are accepting
Then
blood
it-
sacrifices.
that it does not
we.
rain. We're hearing that the remnants of Harvey is rolling in on Saturday.
Oh goodness. Oh,
We're hoping not. We're hoping it holds off till Sunday because Sunday it's all indoors. Saturday's all outdoors. So I don't know.
I listened to NPR this morning for the first time in a few weeks, and I was just like, the fucking world ended while I was out of town.
Yeah.
Armageddon.
Yeah,
Everything's flooding.
everything's
It's the next
flooding.
flood. I'm
We
glad
just-
that guy built that ark in Kentucky, so we'll get to save all the. Well, no, animals aren't allowed on the ark. I watched our friend Stuart Huff do this joke about the ark like 10 times, so now I feel like I have all this info.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
know,
life-size ark
it's
that's
pretty
been
screwed
built
up
in
out there.
Kentucky.
But come on down to Lawrenceville, hang out, bring a tent, camp in the park. No, don't camp in the park. See, you'll get pissed.
That might, yeah.
Do it anyway. I don't care.
Joe's not going to stop you, but the cops might.
But everywhere from Arsenal Cider House down in the 6th Ward, all the way up to Needs in the 10th Ward, there will be music, and you should come hang out and check it out.
Oh, and it's free.
And it's all free.
It's fucking
Nobody's charging
free.
covers, and it's all volunteer. And
We're totally accepting donations though.
yeah, we'll take
Oh, that's
donations,
cool.
but buy these guys merch.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
you're selling t-shirts, right?
There
There's
will be
RANT
t-shirts, really cool tie-dyed ones
t-shirts.
again in the spirit of the Summer of Love and
Yeah, if you'd
what
like
happened.
to
The happening 50 years ago. We're gonna, I realize we're not Monterey, but we are Lawrenceville, and let's do this.
Woo woo!
Find something new that you maybe would not have gone out to see before.
That was a pretty great. We may not be Monterey, but we're Lawrenceville. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And there was one more thing that I wanted to add about that. Oh, Rant's gonna be great. Liz has something for us.
I do. A new segment that
I'm gonna sneak to the bathroom while
is-
this is
Go
doing
for it.
this.
Oh, sure. I get that a lot when I'm on stage. It's fine. So, a new segment that is only probably today, but I'm going to call it a new segment. Who knows? We might do it again. We'll see how successful it is. Yeah, we all have friends out there that you're like, man, what a good guy. What a good girl. Why can't they just find the right person? They deserve somebody. So today's segment is called Date My Friend. Hold up. Date My Friend Vincent.
I didn't
Here's
know
some
it was this
stats.
big.
Here's some stats. Funny, sweet, Italian as fuck. I can't get the right angle. There we go. Nerdy, in the good way. And note that date with him, the Coke is included. So 1 free Coke per day. I don't know if I can. I mean, what if he finds the love of his life? Do I have to give her a Coke forever? I'll bring it at the wedding, I guess. But for the first date, free Coke. Not cocaine, Coca-Cola. And if you have a normal-ish name, I'll get one of the ones that has your name on it for an added bonus.
Damn.
Right?
That's
so,
impressive.
Date Vincent Tidiano Jr.
Junior! I feel like I really wish Vincent would comment right now. Are you tuned in?
Did I
Do you
trick
think
him
he
into
made it?
watching? He
Do you
doesn't.
think
I
he
know
made
he
it to
tuned
the
in.
end?
I don't know if he did. I tricked him into watching because he has no idea I'm doing this to him because I am an evil, evil friend. You getting the light on that? Yeah, nice.
Get real close.
I'm an evil friend.
For those of you listening, our good friend Vincent, this is a very attractive, smiling picture of Vincent with a.
Now I'm just raving.
He's holding some Coke. There's some Coke in his hands.
So yeah. So tune in next week.
Dylan Aaron seems interested. We have one interested. Yeah, I think Vincent is hetero, but I'm not 100% sure.
Dylan's
so
a pretty man.
Let's find out. Dylan, very attractive, but also married.
Oh.
Not legal in this state. If you guys want to work it out,
And she's beautiful.
All
Oh.
love is love. We're very
Summer love.
positive.
So if you would
I
like
think
to
it's
date
supposed to be
Vincent,
sex positive.
if you would like to date Vincent, please, write in, contact me, contact him, contact her, contact River's Edge. I mean, I'm gonna make them as a dating
Put it
system.
in the chair, so it's like he's with us.
Vincent, he'll always be with you. If you have that side. All right.
The occasional co-host for that broadcast, Vincent Didiano. Well, I had a really fun that broadcast this week. I didn't bring my guitar because I was already sort of ambushing the Abbey with a whole lot of gear, so I thought...
Well, that's our feature, I guess, for the day. That's our new dating system.
Our featured,
we can make money. If you want to give us money, we will pimp you. We'll get you a date.
Where's my motherfucking money? I kind of self-censored because we're in a public place. You want your seat back?
I'm worried about saying fuck, and you're out here.
At least I'm not yelling it. That's what I'm trying to not yell. Fuck. So.
Yeah,
Well, as usual, we've gone a little bit over the hour, but our intro music went a little bit over the 10 o'clock spot, so I'm not super worried about it. Like I said before, I will be at RANT all weekend, so that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Friday, September 1st, I will be at Bay 4 with Victory at the Crossroads at 8 p.m. Saturday, September 2nd, I will be the host of the Abbey, playing at noon and hosting all day until 5 p.m., where we move outside. Hopefully, we will. I will do a blood sacrifice for that tonight. Sunday, Sunday, September 3rd.
You know, slit your hand, bleed into a fire.
I thought you were going to tell everyone to
slit
kill
the wrist.
themselves.
Everybody slit your wrist.
Don't slit your wrist. I don't want you in the hospital.
Nope, I heard it.
You can cut
I'm
your
doing
hand.
it tonight.
I've done that.
And then Saturday, September 3rd, Arsenal Lanes will still be popping, and then Hambones Acoustic Brunch I will be attending with my guitar playing. I don't know, we'll find out. Why don't you find out too? Join me over there.
Did you?
And once again, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. Thank you, Liz. This is why you are so helpful, and I love you with all of my heart. House Lab is going to be seasonal from now on. So we're going to sort of integrate House Lab and House Mic because we have other open mic opportunities happening outside of the art house that we want to look into and calibrate our time toward. So from now on, House Mic events will be the 13th of every month, like House Mic has been, but the House Lab on the last day of the month thing, we're going to nix that and just go for the 13th of every month. The next one is going to be House Mic Fall with special guest Chet Vincent. His idea, he's like, let's just call it Fall. Like, look, fall's coming. I was like, all right, Chet, that's fine.
I love you, Chet.
We love you, Chet. And you can catch Chet Vincent. Do you remember off the top of your head what venue he's in?
He's at the AOH with Molly.
Oh,
Chet's
right, because it's her
Chet's going to
family.
be solo opening at the AOH, and then there are Stillhouse Pickers, and I can't remember who else, a couple of bluegrass bands, and then Molly is going to do a duo acoustic set.
What about Chet Vincent and the Big Band? Like
The
the
full band, no, they won't be there because some members are holiday.
I thought I
It
saw
is a
them on
holiday
the...
weekend here.
I thought I saw him on the...
No, just Chet.
No? Okay.
Just Chet.
Well, just
Chet's
Chet
going solo.
is great.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend checking that out. Go to rantpittsburgh.com,
Yes.
R-A-N-T Pittsburgh.com to see a full map and full lineups. The events are
Maps
on Facebook.
will be floating all over the
Yeah, if you just come to Lawrenceville, anywhere
there will be
in
maps
the neighborhood,
anywhere.
you will find people. There's a lot of stuff happening specifically on Butler Street, which is where the Abbey is, where Hambones is. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you down there. House Lab in Highland Park, House Mic, September 13th. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, remember to choose bravery, choose love, and mwah, peace.
Alrighty.